Hello everyone, it's Grant here, back with another video for you. It's good to talk to you guys again. Have you ever heard the phrase, cleanliness is next to godliness? You likely have, probably in the context of like cleaning your room or something of the sort, right? But what you may not have realized, and what took me a long time to realize, is that this simple phrase is very deep, and it reveals a lot about the human condition that we can learn a lot from when we explore it. You see, we live in a reality of polarity, which probably deserves and will receive its own video down the line. But to break it down, everything in this reality is found on a spectrum between one extreme or another, right? There's good, bad, up, down, left, right, happy, sad, cold, hot, negative, positive, right? When you boil it down, it's all either something or nothing, zeros and ones. That's why when you look at computer code, like the most basic building blocks of computer code, it's zeros and ones. And if you boil down our physical reality, I would imagine that you'll find something similar. And that's why we are in a simulation. I'm just kidding. Or am I, right? But, there's these extremes, right? And everything in between. But to stay on topic, I want to talk about the dynamic of this polarity between beauty and order versus ugliness and chaos. And you just have to bear with me because this is very important to self-improvement, understanding this concept. And I'm going to tell you why. The world itself is very chaotic by nature, right? It's also very beautiful. Even the chaotic part can be beautiful, but it's very chaotic and dangerous. And nature is hardcore, right? Even if that tsunami is beautiful, it's still very dangerous. So what we do as humans is we seek to instill an order to this chaos. We've worked very hard to make sense of things and put a reason behind things and tame the elements and create schedules, create a way of life that is cohesive. Like, for example, we don't just want to live out in the elements, right? We can't survive that way. I feel like this is almost the birthplace of like philosophy, right? We can't survive in the bare elements. We can't survive in chaos, so how do we? It's almost like the origin. So you see, it starts off with, okay, let's find something like a little more stable. So you have the caveman at this point, right? And instead of just walking around in the sun and snow all day, dying by the time you're like 15 years old, we figured out there's a way to do things a little bit better. We're going to the caves, baby. So you take your cave wife and you head to the caves, because that's going to keep you out of the elements, right? This was the thing they did back in the day. And from that point, it's like, what else can we do here? I still need water. I still can't see in the cave. So now you start figuring out these other things, like how to master fire, how to contain water, perhaps. And you don't want to just kill food and like eat it on the spot like an animal or something, right? So we started figuring out how to preserve food. And I think women, somewhere along the line, I think they started to realize, like, hey, I think this guy who's like, he's a little more thoughtful and he can like think ahead a bit, he can create some order, this might be the guy for me, because where there's order, there's safety oftentimes, right? I believe this is where our attraction to beauty and order sort of began. This dynamic, it's gone on and on and on to where we are now in modern civilization, where we have all these elaborate supply chains and we're mining the elements out of the earth, right, to create technology, and we're able to sustain a lot of people. We have computers with these giant hard drives now to like store all of our data. We have vehicles with their own air conditioning systems that keep us the perfect temperature to get us from point A to point B in record time, right? This is going all the way to, we're now creating like artificial intelligence and space travel, advanced space travel. This desire for order and mastery over the elements is taking us so far, all the way to completely changing life as we know it, from what it used to be to what it's turning into. And perhaps we are like some kind of superorganism that it goes through this process, and eventually, if you give humanity long enough, you'll start to see it literally like shoot itself off the planet to colonize other worlds. Maybe it's just like a natural process. If you've seen like a dandelion, right? after a while it turns into that that whitish ball of fuzz, and eventually it just blows away in the wind. And all those seeds fly around everywhere, and they land, and it sprouts more of these dandelions, right? I think it's an interesting concept to think about. But in this messed up modern world, at the stage we're at right now, that we're living through right now, things have been so good for so long that we've sort of lost that direct reinforcement from nature of like how to act and what's good, what's bad, so to speak. It used to just be like people accepted beauty was good for the most part. They didn't have to overthink it, and they would strive towards it, like I said. But things are they're so easy now that a lot of people have adopted this philosophy of just like being a slob and living a degenerate life and not trying to instill any beauty or order in their lives, right? They're fat, lazy, they got the Cheeto pizza sauce stained band t-shirt with the whatever, these pants that like they make a swishing sound whenever you walk, and their house is disgusting, and it hasn't been cleaned, and their car is broken down, and it's got these bottles and wrappers all over the floor, and they're wondering like why people don't want to be around them, or why like women don't want to be around them, right? And they've taken this and they've decided from this that the world is just shallow, right? That must be the answer, right? The world is simply shallow. All it cares about is beauty and the way things look. It's not deep like me in my World of Warcraft shirt with my big gut, staying up till 4 a.m. eating pizza, right? If only they could overlook all that, they would just see how amazing I am. But the world is just shallow, and women are shallow, right? I want to say that this is nonsense, right? We must learn, again, I suppose, that even though it's no longer a necessity, quote unquote, that we must learn again to embrace beauty and order. It's not shallow. It's the signal of prosperity, right? It's the signal of a certain element of safety, the signal that you are in a place that can harbor life, harbor civilization, harbor like a sound peace of mind. It's the signal that you are oriented in a way that is leading to progress and harmony with nature. Is it foolproof? I suppose not, but I suppose there's always exceptions to the rule, right? But it is the rule for the most part. And I believe that's why we are so attracted to beauty innately, right? So embrace beauty, embrace order, and get your surroundings in order. Clean your room, clean your computer, delete all your BS, these old pictures, this spam emails. You ever like look at your phone and you like check the email app and it's like 13,879 email, and it's just stuff from years ago, and just for whatever reason you're just like, I'm just going to let that number accumulate forever. You know, just get rid of all this stuff, these games you haven't played forever. Get your fitness, your finances, get it in what it's order. Isn't it funny that that's the word people are like, I got to get my life in order. I got to get my finances in order. Order has been like villainized lately, and it's just it's silly. You either see the rules of nature and you work in tandem with it, or you pretend it doesn't exist and you become a loser and miserable, and then pretend it's not you, it's the world. You know, just get it in order, get the fitness in order, lose the weight. You have a skeletal system, and you have a nervous system, and you have organs, and you have this musculature system. And for the most part, this is you, right? All this fat to the point where you're getting like diseases and stuff, to where people are getting diseases. It's not you, right? That is actually the worldly stuff that you've taken on, and it's stored itself in your body. That's the chaos and disorder, and that's the signal that the women and others around you see that they're trying to avoid, right? You're out of style, you're stained clothing. It signals a disorder, a disordered mind, an unclean room, a messed up living space. It's a signal of a disordered mind. Like when you see these people, these hoarders and stuff like that, like it's more than just hoarding. A lot of times, like they want to keep all this stuff. It usually signals a certain like a mental illness or a self-loathing. So like, go get some things that fit well, that look good in, that you look good in, that are clean, that you realize, and you realize in the process of doing so, like, it's not just pressing a button and the best clothes for you just show up and they attach to your body, right? It takes a little like trial and error, a little mental acuity. So like when you do get it right and you look good and everything is on point, your shoes, clothes, and you have an accessory or two and it's all on point, it shows that you have the mental acuity to make that happen. And that's why people like it when people have their lives together. Maybe they have like a nice car, they look good, their skin is looking decent, and maybe they've made some money, things like that. It's not just shallowness, it's signaling that you have a mental capacity to keep your life in order. And you're not somehow above this either. When you think about the things that you really enjoy, odds are there's an insane amount of order and beauty involved, right? Everybody loves Elden Ring, for example. And the amount of beauty and order in this game is off the charts. Just look at the gameplay that I'm showing right now. I can't imagine what the developers went through to make this game happen, to make it all work together in tandem without crashing. And all the while playing, going through all the different parts of the game, it's looking this good and it's all working and all the parts are interlinking back into each other, right? They worked hard on it. They didn't just sit around and giggle and fart and hope a game came out of nowhere, right? They channeled their like higher selves to make this work of art happen. Everybody loves Chick-fil-A, right? And what does everyone say when they talk about Chick-fil-A? They literally all say the same thing. They're like, they know what they're doing, right? It's like the food is good. Sure, the food is pretty good, but it's like the service is amazing. The order is there. You'll hit the beginning of the drive-thru. You'll put your order in. Before you know it, hopefully you're getting out of there and you got some good food. It's like a well-oiled machine. It's reliable. And art, like what is good art? It's something that it speaks to us and something that moves something deep within us, that it resonates and it's hard to even verbalize. Like look at the new Zelda game, like Tears of the Kingdom, for example, which I believe 100% sold really well. And look for example at the box art for that game. It's like a Link on a cliff, and everything is just so on point. It gives you the sense of like excitement, and the art is beautiful. Even though that game doesn't really run the best, the art direction and the presentation is like really amazing. And would people still buy it if it was just a weird lazy picture of Link that looked like he was drawn by a fourth grader? In this case, they'd probably buy it no matter what, because it's Legend of Zelda. It's an established series. But these marketers, they know how important it is to maximize that interest and that give everything that pop. Like they make that box art look good for a reason, because they know that it's going to affect ultimately their sales and profit. So they want to create something beautiful. Look at like YouTube thumbnails. They're super important. Sometimes I think it might be more important than the content of the video itself, to be honest. So whatever it is you're doing or attempting to do, like grow your business, attract women, whatever it is, this is my message for you with this video. It's embrace the immense importance of beauty and order. And we need more of it in this modern world. Things are, in a way, like getting uglier, and it's annoying. If you have like a landscaping or a blue-collar business, take the best pictures of your work that you possibly can. Get rid of this mentality like, oh, well, it doesn't need to look that good. They'll see the quality. Like the presentation doesn't need to be that good. They'll see the quality, and that's all that matters, right? No, embrace the beauty. Embrace the importance of presentation. Take the best pictures possible, showing the best part of your work, whatever it is, from the best angles with the best lighting, right? If you're like an Indian street vendor or something and you're selling lollipops on the street, try this. Get the best tarp or mat possible, and don't just dump out all your stuff into a pile and say, here you go. Like, organize it, right? Make it look as beautiful as possible. Put your items big to small, color-coded, whatever it is, to instill like a sense of order to the product that you are trying to put out there, right? I guarantee you are going to attract more eyes to what you are selling. And it's just the law of nature, my friends. Ride that wave, right? That's it for the video, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. It was nice talking to you all. If you enjoy my content and you want to give back a bit, just the best way to do that is just simply click the like button and leave a comment and just share your thoughts. Whatever your thoughts are on the matter, I'd like to hear them. Something simple or elaborate. And maybe share this to a friend or like a business owner or somebody like that that you think would benefit from it or get a kick from it. I really want to keep growing so that I can continue to do these videos more often with more focus and help more people. So a support like that would be really appreciated. And you can also follow me on X, which would be amazing as well. As the link is in the description for that. And you know, it's still in its infantile stages, but I do have another channel called Everything Else. It's just me talking about like current events and, you know, current things that are happening that I'm interested in. My latest video was on Armored Core, which is going to be the next game from Software, actually, who made Elden Ring. So I'm just talking about why I'm excited for that game. Check out that channel if you'd like. You kind of just get a little more of me if you're really enjoying listening to me talk. So yeah, guys, that's going to be it. Thanks again. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Adios. Later.